So I'm browsing REI's website at like midnight, right? I was actually looking for some Merrell boots that my friend Emma had recommended, and I'm scrolling through the women's hiking section when I accidentally click on these Columbia Granite Trail mid boots instead. And I'm about to hit the back button because, honestly, I wasn't even considering Columbia for hiking boots. But then I see this review from a woman who said these felt broken in from day one, and something about that just made me pause. You know what's funny? I almost didn't buy them. I had my cart loaded with the Merrells, but I kept thinking about that comment. So at 12:47 a.m., yes, I remember the exact time because it felt so impulsive, I switched my order to these Columbia boots instead. Best accidental purchase I've made in years, and here's why that spontaneous decision completely changed how I think about mid-range hiking boots. So these arrive, and first thing I notice when I pick up the box is how light it feels. I'm expecting this chunky, heavy hiking boot, but when I pull them out, they're only 12.5 ounces. That's lighter than some of my running shoes. And I'm immediately thinking, okay, this is either going to be amazing or these are going to fall apart on the first real trail. Let me tell you about my first test. I decided to throw them straight into a challenging situation. No easy break-in hikes for these boots. I took them on the 6-mile loop trail with 1,200 feet of elevation gain. And guys, I'm not exaggerating when I say they felt comfortable from step one. Like, usually I'm dealing with pressure points, weird rubbing, that whole awkward new boot feeling. Nothing. It was like wearing boots I'd owned for months. But here's where it gets really interesting. About 3 miles into testing, I hit this section with wet rocks and loose gravel, you know, the kind of terrain that makes you question your footwear choices. And these OMNI-Grip soles just gripped everything. I'm talking confident steps on wet granite, no slipping on loose dirt. I actually found myself being more aggressive on technical sections than I normally would be with new boots. Now, I have to be honest about something that happened around week 4 of testing. I'm hiking with my friend Sarah, and she looks down at my boots and goes, "Wait, those are Columbia? I thought you were all about premium brands." And I realized she was right. I usually go for the $150 to $200 boots, the big-name technical brands. But after a month of testing these $90 boots, I was getting 80% of the performance at 60% of the price. The waterproofing test came during week 5 when we got caught in this unexpected downpour. I'm talking proper Pacific Northwest rain, the kind that soaks through everything. 4 hours of steady hiking in wet conditions, and my feet stayed completely dry. The OMNI-TECH membrane really delivers on that promise. Now, I did read some reviews where people had waterproofing failures, but in my 2 months of testing through everything from morning dew to creek crossings, I never had a single leak.
But let me tell you about the one limitation I discovered. I was hiking in 85-degree weather, and these boots definitely run warmer than non-waterproof options. That's the trade-off with any waterproof membrane, but it's something to consider if you're hiking in hot climates regularly. My feet weren't uncomfortable, but they were noticeably warmer than usual. Here's what really surprised me, though. After 65 miles of varied terrain, and I'm talking rocky trails, muddy sections, loose scree, even some light scrambling, these boots look like they've barely been used. The outsole wear is minimal, the upper construction is holding up perfectly. At this rate, I'm looking at 300 to 400 miles of hiking life, which for a $90 boot is honestly impressive. You know what's interesting? The sizing turned out to be spot on for me. I wear an 8B in most hiking boots, ordered an 8 in these, and the fit is perfect with medium hiking socks. But I've heard from women with wider feet that they needed to size up a half size. The toe box definitely runs on the narrower side, so if you're between sizes or have wider feet, definitely go up. So here's my honest assessment after 2 months of real-world testing. These aren't the most premium hiking boots you can buy, but they deliver exactly what they promise. If you're a recreational day hiker who needs reliable, comfortable boots without spending $200, these are absolutely worth considering. They're not designed for heavy backpacking or extreme conditions, but for day hiking and light overnight trips, they're honestly fantastic. The comfort factor alone makes these special.
Most hiking boots require this gradual break-in process where you slowly increase your mileage. With these, I was doing 8-mile hikes from day one without any issues. That immediate comfort combined with solid traction and reliable waterproofing at this price point, that's the sweet spot for most women hikers. Looking back at that midnight impulse purchase, I'm so glad I clicked on the wrong boots. Sometimes the best discoveries happen when you're not even looking for them. For $85 to $95, you're getting a hiking boot that performs like it costs significantly more. Perfect for women who hike regularly but don't need ultra-premium features. Questions about these boots? Drop them in the comments. I'm here to help you find your perfect hiking footwear.